So I have seen 28 Years Later in theaters twice now, a sequel nearly 28 years in the making, and it's gone from being my most anticipated movie of 2025 to being my #1 movie of the year so far. Here's my review. It's no secret of mine that 28 Days Later is one of my all-time favorite movies. And while we did get the enjoyable yet inferior 28 Weeks Later back in 2007, the director and writer of 28 Days Later, Danny Boyle and Alex Garland, did not return for that sequel. So for a long time, I've wondered what a sequel would be like if Boyle and Garland returned. And now there's no reason to wonder. 28 Years Later is here with Boyle and Garland back as the director and writer, and that's honestly a dream come true for me. 28 Years Later is not your standard legacy sequel. It takes bold risks, both narratively and stylistically, functioning as a philosophical pondering of death and mortality, as well as a coming-of-age horror thriller about growing up, learning the harsh truths of life, and the lengths we go to in order to protect the ones we care for. It's bleak, it's dark, it's gross and gory in such delightfully morbid ways. It can occasionally be surprisingly funny, and it also goes to some strangely profound, sad, and emotional places that I deeply related to and was deeply moved by. Just like the original, 28 Years Later is chock full of gruesome horrors that are spine-chilling. The infected are as frightening as ever, with more of a focus on their lore this time around. But it's what this film says about the human condition in the midst of a post-apocalyptic background that interested me the most. What impact does survival have on our humanity, and how does it shape us as individuals? We saw that idea explored in 28 Days Later, and now we see that idea again and expanded upon in 28 Years Later to fascinating effect. I think this is Danny Boyle's best feature in years. I think this is Alex Garland's best script in years. The performances from Alfie Williams, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Jodie Comer, and Ralph Fiennes are all brilliant. And from a technical standpoint, this movie rips so hard. The score can be pulse-pounding and even poignant. The editing is top-notch, and there is awesome experimental camera work with great visual storytelling. This movie was shot on the iPhone 15 Pro Max with specialized rigs and attachments, and it looks so unique. Overall, 28 Years Later is a breath of fresh air that may not be the movie I was expecting, but that's exactly why I loved it. And it all ends on a totally bonkers note that brings the whole thing full circle and left me craving more. Maybe you won't feel as strongly about it as I did, but after fully taking it in after 2 viewings, it worked for me, and it worked very well. I give 28 Years Later a 5 out of 5.